'Twas the night before Christmas and, you thought we were going there, did you? Oh, no, no. But it is the night before Christmas, and a treat is in store for you if you are willing to suspend disbelief in all that is magical. Immerse yourself in what is to follow. Comfy, for this journey requires only that you relax and be willing to embark on a magical walk. Visualize if you can, but that is not as important as being willing to let your imagination bring you to places where guidance is in store, should you choose to accept it. This is not a journey to put demands on your body, for you will stay right where you are seated, hopefully, but you will be asked to walk with your imagination guiding you. So please don't be confused by the word walk when imagination movement is requested. Are you comfy and cozy? Have you put away any skepticism and brought your inner child out to hold your hand as he or she walks with you? Good. I do believe you are ready. You are pondering where the magic has gone. When you were a child, this holiday brought so much excitement for days and days before the calendar reflected it had arrived. So many things to worry about, stress about now that you are an adult. And maybe you've even wondered if Christmas is just like any other mundane, task-oriented day. It is time to put those worries away. Take a deep breath in of peace and slowly exhale away any stress or burdens that have been weighing on you. Well done. Let's do that again. Inhale peace. Exhale stress, worry, sadness, frustration. None of that will serve you on this magical journey. None of it serves you anytime. One more time. Deep breath in, bringing peace into your body. Slow breath out, letting the last of your adult worries burst into tiny particles that float away and disappear, no longer in your awareness, since you have chosen peace. You were feeling sleepy, but suddenly you feel a burst of energy which propels you out of your chair. You feel an intense urge to walk to the front door and open it. You wonder why, but that is as far as you question. This is an urge that cannot be ignored. When you open the door, there is only fog, any direction you turn. Where did my neighborhood go, you wonder? The fog surrounds you now, almost as if it is caressing you. You hadn't thought to grab a coat, but you feel nothing but warmth. This is some crazy fog. You feel no desire to go back in the house. Something pulls at you to stay. Suddenly something darts in front of your eyes, a bright light. It appears to be taking a sharp left, now behind you. What in the world? From behind your right shoulder, there it is again, now bobbing around in what seems to be a dance of some sort. You squint, trying to determine if it's real or if you've gone bonkers. No bonkers here. The bright light starts to get larger and brighter. Something is taking form right before your eyes. Zap! This light is no ordinary light. You shake your head as you close and then reopen your eyes, trying to make sense of this. And now there is even more to challenge you. As the fog lifts and you find yourself on a well-trodden path in a gorgeous forest. There is snow on the ground, snow on the limbs of the trees. But again, you feel nothing but warmth. How can this be, you wonder? It feels like a summer day where the sun beats down on you, but there is no sun. Now you're beginning to realize there is something special going on. You feel no fear. You are starting to feel anticipation of what's to come. You feel a tug on your hand and look down. There is your younger version. You'd forgotten all about this marvelous companion you'd invited along. Oh, the beauty of the excitement shining in those beautiful child eyes. Your companion speaks. Look, the light has turned into an arrow. I think we are supposed to follow. Yes, let's go, you say. Your inner child looks up with hopeful eyes, but you can tell there is anticipation of disappointment. Can we skip? It would be so fun in the snow. Absolutely, we can skip. Let's race. But we can't forget we're following our light guide and get off track. You race off down the path, exhilarated by the joy you feel skipping in the crunching snow. You're enjoying the release of tension you had hoped you'd disposed of, but that had tenaciously held on. With each skip, you can feel relief. Suddenly, the light guide stops. You catch yourself sliding in the snow as if you put on the brakes of your car on ice. It's fun. You hear a very quiet voice saying, "Over here. Psst, over here." You turn and see a very tiny being at the base of a tree that appears to have a door on it. You've heard of them but never seen one. You're certain this is a fairy. She has blonde hair, beautiful shimmering wings, and wears an emerald green frock. She says, "You have just experienced your first fairy spotting." They say that seeing is believing, but it's just the opposite. Believing is seeing. Look around you. You look around and see many tiny flickering lights. You shake your head, starting to doubt again. But then you decide, why not believe? One of the lights, a gorgeous pale violet, starts to morph, and a very regal tiny fairy steps from it with this message. Have you ever seen a fairy? Maybe you have, but you tried to explain it away with the voice of reason. Or perhaps you're a fully fledged believer, or better still, a knower. You know fairies exist. Fairies can appear to us in many different ways. Being sensitive and open to experiences is helpful when fairy spotting, as it allows us to be more receptive to seeing these magical spirits of nature. They very often appear as flashes of light darting around wooded areas or gardens, or if you're really lucky, inside your home. They can also manifest just outside your line of sight, often in the corner of your field of vision, so you're not totally sure if there's anything there at all. Sometimes they can be felt intuitively, seen only in your mind's eye. They may also bring a flowery scent or an unusual smell, rather like toffee apples or popcorn. When they appear in their full form, it's a true privilege, for they're usually wary of humans. You could try photographing fairies. Even if you can't see them with your own eyes, a camera can often pick up a fairy essence, which may appear as a beam of light or a tiny orb. The best place to do this is out in nature, either in your garden or in woodland. Midsummer's Eve is a particularly good time to look for fairies. You're most likely to see a fairy if you care about nature and the environment, as they will be more willing to connect with you. Oh my goodness, who would have thunk that you'd be seeing such an incredible magical sight? queen-like fairy asks if you're open to another message, to which you reply, "Damn straight I am." Oops, pardon my French. Expecting to be chided, you are surprised that you're met with a smile and a twinkle. Here you are then. Here is your last message in our fairy realm. You're welcome to go back to following your light guide when the message is complete. Thank you so much for visiting our beautiful little world. And now your message. This fairy woman has no discernible wings, yet without them, she still knows she will fly. She is trusting and moving forward. And although all around her are panicking and wanting her to stay where it seems to be safe, she has faith, and she will be supported. This card denotes the creation of the wise, surrendered self, often birthed through some kind of crisis. She is the newly created being, and her energy is innocent, unworldly, trusting, and therefore extremely powerful, potent, and magical. This being is completely trusting. She is fully focused on listening to and following her inner voice. She has no worldly protection. Her arms are outstretched, and she shows no fear as she walks off the edge. Her self-belief in this remarkable situation is not pride, for she is focused on going ahead. This is the greatest leap into the unknown, the leap of faith we so often speak of. She may seem to have nothing but faith, but in truth, her repository of instinctual knowledge is held within her magical, miraculous self. The storm clouds have gathered about her, but she is unafraid, or rather has gone past fear and into acceptance. She knows that what will be, and that to walk forward is to create an immense possibility of miraculous healing and a profound shift. She is the divine embodiment of trust. She represents all who take great chances, which in turn allow us to connect with our spirituality. Catch Me embodies the lesson of faith in our own soul renewal. This card symbolizes the courageous leap of faith, the trust and intuition. We have no obvious means of survival, and yet we know we will, and we will walk into our future, come what may. After you receive your second fairy message, you catch sight of your light guide again and start to follow a path that takes a distinct downward descent. There seems to be more vegetation alongside the path, moss and ferns. You hear something like running water as you turn a corner. And behold a magnificent waterfall spilling into an azure pool of water. Something moving in the water catches your attention. What the? It looks like a single tail gracefully poking out of the water, followed by a most beautiful female attached. A mermaid? Was that even possible? Hello, I do have some messages for you from the mermaids. Why don't you settle on that lovely rock next to you so you can listen in comfort? A dazzling show of gilded glass can mask the tasteless, foul, and crass. Who knows what beastly masked confusion lies beneath such fine illusion? This glitzy, opulent charade, a glib attempt at masquerade, has fooled a wiser girl than me, and left her swimming, lost at sea. Why hope for anything but lies from him, the master of disguise? A pretty girl shows her attraction to an octopus, clearly drawn in by the gold jewels and colorful gemstones dripping from his limber frame. So mesmerizing is his costume, she is oblivious to what may be lying beneath the surface. Now this has an upright and a reversed divination message, and I'm going to give you both and let you use your own discernment as to which might apply to you. In the upright, it says, look beneath the surface. Be careful, my friend. Not everyone is as they seem. Not all that glitters is gold, nor is every bright bauble the priceless treasure it at first appears. You may have recently encountered someone charming whose flashy facade draws people in. But remember, that is all it is, a facade. You must look beneath the surface to see the true value of a person. And like the jeweled octopus, your new acquaintance just might be hiding behind a dazzling disguise. And in the reverse, do not be afraid to trust. Past experiences have made you wary, but take care not to let reasonable hesitation turn into paranoia and unwarranted mistrust. There are many honest people in the world, ones who can be taken at face value, and it is in your best interest to give them the benefit of the doubt. And here is your second message. The mermaids sing, "This is the quandary of the modern human, as far as we can see it. There is an enormous desire to avoid pain, to avoid anything that leads to emotional distress. And yet the very thing that allows such a thing to happen is one of your greatest powers. Your vulnerability is beautiful, and we are drawn to it. And yet so often you feel foolish and embarrassed for feeling vulnerable, and you do your best to hide your tenderness. You feel as though you will be abused simply because you are open and willing to trust and able to love and be kind. How attractive and appealing are these most lovely of human qualities. We all need and crave a sense of belonging. It is deep and primal. It is at the very core of our survival instincts. For in tribal days, if we were outcast, we were either left as food for the sharks, or we became strong and wise in our hermitage. These challenges and hero journeys within are our keys to inner strength and a sense of belonging to the all that is. And yet, what makes this heroic and what makes this beautiful is that we can be deeply hurt as much by our communication with others as by our distance from them. At this time, you are being asked to open up, display your wounds after a time building trust, and share the vulnerabilities within. You are strong, and you are a survivor, but you are fragile too. Deep, intimate connection can only be created by deeply understanding who we are, what we reject and dislike about ourselves, and bringing home and nurturing back to health that which we have forced away. This can require therapy, counseling, and deep vulnerability. The power of this vulnerability is that you break through into freedom, self-love, and attract others with your open heart. It may return from time to time. It is often a theme in our life. Please again follow your light guide. There is even more in store for you. And if what you've seen already has had you shaking your head in wonder, just wait. You see that your light guide is bringing you now upward. The trees change from green to an icy white which glows magically. You approach a corner with trepidation for some reason, and then laugh as you round it and see the most amazing, magical creature, a unicorn. The unicorn doesn't speak out loud, but you can clearly hear its message in your head. We, the sacred unicorns, also have two messages for you. Well, three perhaps, because we want to remind you that you also carry magic within you. Perhaps you have been treated as an oddity in your life and have let that influence you in the way you think about yourself. We are here to tell you that, odd or not, You are a splendid, magical creature, and soon you will find others who can see that. Please have faith. And now here is your first message. The unicorn shows up when things have been kept carefully hidden, but are now being brought into the light. You may find what was concealed being revealed to you when you receive this card. If you have been lied to or kept in the dark about something, the truth is now likely to be exposed. This card, Toadstool, reveals secrets. Telepathically, we already know the truth. Even if you are not fully conscious of it, you can absolutely pick up and know the things that you need to know if you focus. Prepare yourself for some kind of revelation when Toadstool pops up. By the same token, if you've been concealing or hiding something, then it's time to own up and tell the truth. As the old Shakespeare line goes, the truth will out. So better to be honest in the first place and save yourself the trouble. When in doubt, always choose honesty. I hope that was helpful. We have another for you. Your heart yearns to be reunited with your beloved and enjoy a blissful, sacred relationship together. Or if you are already in a partnership, you may crave a deepening of romance and connection that may have been lost over time or through challenging circumstances. This loving pair of unicorns want to reassure you that your joyful union or reconnection is coming soon. But there is some preparation to do. To receive your divine partner or reconnect with your current love, you must first love yourself deeply and know that you are lovable. Be honest about how you judge or dishonor yourself, and then be willing to treat yourself with the love, care, and nurture you want your beloved to hold you in. If you long for a partner who cherishes you, first cherish yourself. If you want to be with someone full of joy, be joyful yourself. If you want to be respected, begin by treating yourself with respect. Making these shifts may mean embarking on a healing journey back into wholeness. Be courageous in releasing the core wounds in your heart that keep you from feeling worthy. Be willing to forgive previous partners and surrender your stories of hurt and heartache. Readily transform old beliefs and programming about love, relationships, marriage, and sex. Be gentle with yourself and your partner if you already have one. And know that each old wound or belief you release brings you closer to your beloved or opens your heart to greater love. Allow romance to happen without hurrying it. Connect with your future love or current partner on a soul level and send them energy from your heart. Let them know you are doing the inner work to be ready for them or to deepen your journey together, and share your dreams of the beautiful future you will have together. Thank you so much for visiting our sanctuary. Now please continue up the path where you'll join your light guide. Around you now, the surroundings seem to return to more of a normal forest setting, and you wonder if your journey is coming to an end. Disappointed a little bit, but also grateful for the experiences you've had so far. Then, behind a huge tree, you hear, "Do you think we'll be spotted?" You run up, feeling playful, round the tree and yell, "Gotcha!" The two women there squeal with glee. Their faces almost glow, kind of like the light guide, but different. We would like to remind you of your divinity. You are part of all that is, the same as we are, the same as everybody, really. Humans get so overwhelmed by human life and struggle that they forget they also get a vote in what happens in their life as co-creators with the divine. Oh dear, rephrase, as co-creators with other divine beings, equal footing, status, value, worth. Please remember that all of us have both feminine and masculine energies, so do not get offended at the goddess reference. We have 2 messages for you also, and then we will send you back into the fog. Eagle Woman is here to offer you a chance of great opportunity. Are you ready to leap into the unknown and stretch your limits? You may have to leave the comfortable and familiar behind. How far are you willing to open your wings and show that you can fly? How high can you soar? There may be those who admonish you for taking flight, unable to comprehend your need for freedom. Their chance to fly will come. For now, Eagle Woman calls to you. She may teach you a clearer way to see. Things may seem much brighter from this higher perspective. All possibilities are laid out before you. She will show you how to change from seeing the big picture to being able to focus in on the small but important details. She will teach you how to filter out distractions, making opportunities crystal clear. Eagle Woman may ask you to fly so high that for a time you may be alone, weaving new original patterns in the clouds. The power of the eagle has come to you now for a reason. Do you have some difficult choices to make? Or are you lost in the small details of life and unable to see the wood for the trees? Perhaps your life has become too mundane and routine. She comes to tell you that there are golden opportunities waiting for you. She reminds you to spread your wings and feel yourself being lifted on the thermals. Let go of limiting negative thoughts that keep you stuck and embrace the opportunity to rise up and soar to great heights. Your affirmation: I am open to new opportunities. I let go of all that keeps me stuck and explore new ideas and ways of being. And your last message before you return home. You may be tempted to tell yourself you fell asleep and this was all a dream. It was real. Magic does exist. You are magic. We thank you for sharing your magic with us. Wake up! Wake up! Do you hear her call? Bridget is here to relight your inner flame. As a young child, your light shone so brightly, and life was full of possibilities and potential. But as you grew up, the challenges and setbacks you experienced have dimmed your light. Perhaps things feel less possible now, and the road ahead seems steep and strewn with boulders. Fear not, for Bridget comes to you now, bringing her flame of passion, courage, and power. It can ignite your zest for life. It can fill you with enthusiasm, love, and joy for life. It can make you feel like a child again. Just as nature rests during the winter months and reawakens in the spring, you too can emerge from a dark place and step into the light. Bridget's spark can relight the fire potential within you. Let her guide you. To begin with, she may encourage you to make just small changes in your life. But like the tiny buds that appear on barren branches in the spring, there's huge potential in these small things. Her inspiration can light your way ahead, allowing you to think in a creative way and opening the door to wonderful possibilities. Bridget is offering you the flame of love. Are you ready to love your life? You are sent on your way after your messages, and while you start to feel sad that you have to end this unique and special experience, you realize how blessed you are, and instead choose to feel grateful for it all, rather than wish it could last longer. After all, a little bit of magic can go a long way, and you know you will never forget these amazing moments. The fog swirls around you once again, and you find yourself back in your living room. Tears of joy and gratitude run down your face as you whisper out loud to yourself, "Merry Christmas. May peace and joy follow you every step of your journey." The end.